You're watching because you need a generator that won't leave you in the dark when the grid drops, that you can actually live with on a weekend campsite or during a home power outage, and that feels like a solid use of your hard-earned money, not just a laundry list of watts and spark plugs. Most of us have been burned by a cheap unit that sputters when you plug in a TV, or by a heavyweight that's impossible to move once you finally need it. The decision feels risky because a generator is a long-term purchase, and the wrong one can end up as a noisy, fuel-guzzling eyesore in the garage. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down why the Honda EG4000 4000-watt gas-powered generator might be the answer to that dilemma, and also why it could be the wrong fit for some. I've spent the last few weeks watching owners set up camp, watching a few repair techs walk through the wiring, and digging through the specs that matter when you actually have to run a fridge, a power inverter, and a few lights off a single outlet. The goal here isn't to recite the brochure, it's to see how the machine behaves once you fire it up at the campsite, at a construction site, or in your driveway during a storm. First off, the most practical strength of the EG4000 is the reliability that comes from Honda's reputation for low-maintenance engines. When you hear that the unit is an authorized distributor, includes all documentation and support, you know you're not buying a knockoff that will leave you guessing about oil changes or spark plug intervals. In real-world terms, that translates to a generator that you can start in the cold of a November morning without wrestling with a stubborn pull start. One owner on a forum mentioned that they were able to get the unit running within a minute after a power outage, even after the temperature dipped below 30 F. That reliability matters when you're trying to keep a freezer from turning a freezer full of meals into a melted mess. Another everyday advantage is the inverter-style power output. The EG4000 produces clean, stable electricity that's safe for sensitive electronics, think laptops, CPAP machines, or a small home office setup. If you've ever tried to power a laptop off a cheap generator only to see it shut down because of voltage spikes, you'll appreciate that this unit smooths out those fluctuations. For RV owners who run a TV, a mini fridge, and a few USB chargers, the 4000-watt rating means you can comfortably run 2 or 3 120-volt appliances simultaneously without tripping the circuit. The generator's automatic voltage regulation also means you won't get that annoying hum or flicker that can ruin a movie night on the road. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The first one is weight. At roughly 225 pounds, the EG4000 isn't something you'll want to carry up a steep hill without a dolly. If you're the type who parks at a level RV site and can roll the unit on a set of wheels, the weight is a manageable inconvenience. But for anyone who expects to lug a generator up a trail or store it in a tiny closet, it could become a deal-breaker. The second trade-off is fuel consumption. Honda's engines are efficient, but a 4000-watt load will still sip about 0.8 gallons per hour at 50% load. That means a 6-gallon fuel tank gives you roughly 7 to 8 hours of continuous operation before you need to refuel. If you're planning a weekend off-grid with limited fuel storage, you'll have to factor in that refill interval. Who should buy the EG4000? If you're an RV enthusiast who travels to full hookup sites but occasionally needs to be independent, this generator hits the sweet spot. It gives you enough juice to keep the refrigerator, air conditioner, on low, and a few personal devices alive, and the clean power means you won't have to worry about damaging delicate electronics. It also fits nicely for homeowners in regions with frequent storms, think a 4-hour backup window to keep the sump pump and a few lights running while you wait for the utility crew. The fact that it comes with full documentation and Honda support makes it a low-risk purchase for people who aren't comfortable troubleshooting on their own. On the flip side, skip it if you're looking for a lightweight, backpack-ready solution for backcountry camping. There are smaller, inverter-only units that weigh under 50 pounds and can run a phone charger and a headlamp for days on a tiny fuel tank. If your primary need is just to power a single microwave or a hydro-power tool for a few hours, a 3,500-watt generator from another brand might give you a lower upfront cost. Also, if you plan to run a full-size home air conditioner or multiple highway-edge appliances at once, you'll quickly outgrow the 4000-watt ceiling and might need a larger, more expensive unit. Practical strengths summed up: reliable Honda engine, clean inverter output, enough capacity for most RV and small home backup scenarios, and